welcome to Revelations of Delusional Knitter. I'm Angela, your host. This is episode 143, and it is Sunday, October 30th, 2016. Welcome if you are new. If you are returning, I thank you as always, and either way, I hope you enjoy the show and continue to watch. The show is on iTunes, YouTube, delusionalknitter.com, and I also post a link in the Ravelry group, Revelations of Delusional Knitter. I am also on Instagram as Delusional Knitter. And like I just said, there's a Ravelry group, so if you're on Ravelry and you're not a member of the group, come on over and join. Let's see, declarations, what's been going on? Well, the last time I recorded was about a month ago, or exactly a month ago. I don't know where this month has gone, it's just flown by. So here we are today, and it's been raining and cold for days, so my hair is up because I'm not fighting with it today. I also hurt my back. I don't know if it's kind of the thing that always happens to my back, but I was cleaning out the basement for a couple of days, and then so walking up and down the stairs and lifting things, and then I recently finished some yarn that I'm going to show you, and I wonder if sitting at the wheel for a couple hours just was too much. So my back hurts too, so I really don't feel like straightening my hair. So what else has been going on? I wanted to go to Cannoli Fest. I love cannolis. They're one of my favorites, and the city that I work in has things where they close off the square to traffic, and they have events and stuff like that. So they were having Cannoli Fest, so I asked some people at work if they wanted to go, and they did. So I met them there. We just parked at the police station and then walked over because it's right on the same block. We had no idea it would be that busy. We got there pretty much 10 minutes after the start of the event, and we stood in line for 3 hours for cannolis. We thought that we were going to go. There were like 6 or 7 vendors, I think. We thought we were going to just go to each one and, grab something. Nope, we stood in one line for 3 hours. Now, granted, the cannolis were absolutely fabulous. They were amazing, and they had all different flavors. Like, one I got was chocolate cheesecake, and it actually tasted like chocolate cheesecake. But I don't think I would ever stand in line again for 3 hours, and they were kind of expensive, too. So, and you had to buy a minimum of 6 or 12. That was your choice. So it was a little crazy. And I think due to time constraints, you could only get 3 flavors. So you couldn't get like 6 different flavors. You could only get 3 flavors within your 6. So, but it was fun. We had fun people watching while we were standing in line. And the weather was nice, so it was good. I also went and saw Megadeth, like I said I was going to, and they were fabulous. Oh, they were so good. I love them. They played a bunch of really good songs. A couple of new ones, but they played all of the ones that are my favorites. And of course, they always play Symphony of Destruction. They have to. I think people would riot if they didn't play that song. So that was fun. That was a long night, though, because there were 4 or 5 other bands, and one of them my husband wanted to see, but they don't obviously tell you what time that one's going on, so we got there at the start. So it started at 6, and that's when we got there. So we got home around 12:30 at night, so that was kind of long. And, it's loud. It's a rock concert, so you're kind of getting bombarded for 6 hours. But it was a lot of fun. It was really good. And yesterday was my birthday, so every October, a couple of us, I've mentioned it before if you've watched for a long time, do birthday lunch. Where I used to work, there were a couple of us that had birthdays around the same time, so we would always go to lunch. So I met up with them, which is nice, because most of them I hadn't seen since last year when we did birthday lunch. And then one of them is my friend Brian, so he and I went to the movies afterwards, because when we were setting up birthday lunch, he said to me, "Hey, The Shining is playing in theaters, do you want to go see it?" And I was like, yes! So it was awesome, because we went to a movie theater where I used to live, and I haven't been there in a really long time. They redid the whole thing. They had leather reclining seats. They were like recliners. They were that big, and they reclined like a recliner. It was awesome. It was really good, and the movie was awesome. I've seen The Shining before, obviously, but it was really cool to see it on the big screen, and it was super clear and crisp, and the audio was excellent, so that was a lot of fun. This past week, I've actually been off of work, just a staycation, hanging out at home. I went downstairs and organized a stash, which was eventful. Mostly the fiber stash, because the yarn stash was pretty well organized. But I did have like bags of stuff that I had taken from this room and just tossed into a bin downstairs, so it wasn't organized at all. So I sorted that yarn into the correct bins that are labeled, you know, worsted weight or sock yarn or whatever. And the fiber stash I went through just to kind of move it around and stuff, because you never know if critters get in there, you know, bugs or whatever, but it was all fine because it's all in plastic bins, and I usually go through it every couple of months, but I have a ton. I have a ton of stuff, and it was a little scary. What was more scary was while going through the bins at a miscellaneous bin, I found a bag of sock yarn, like recent acquisitions from the last several months. It was an Old Navy shopping bag, like a big one, full of sock yarn, and I was like, oh my god. Because downstairs I have it's probably 5 feet, maybe 4, because I'm not sure it's as long as I am tall, but plastic bin. It's huge. It's humongous, and it is full of sock yarn. Like, this bag that I found wouldn't even fit in it. Yeah, way too much stuff. It's scary, too, when I find things and I pull them out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember buying that. When was that? You know, it was like so long ago. It's just sitting in a bin. So, but it was good to go through the fiber stash. I have a better idea what I have so I can start spinning it. And that's all that's really been going on. So let's get on to Revelations. I do have an FO that I don't have anymore. I told you I may or may not. That was the Baby Mine sweater that I made for a coworker that she could give as a gift to her friend who was having a baby shower. So that is done. It came out awesome. I was super happy with it. So there it is. With the buttons on it. And like I said before, I absolutely love that pattern. It's by Stephanie Pearl McPhee. And it's a gray pattern, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater. Let's see if we can make this bigger. So there it is, blocking. Came out awesome. So I was happy with that. I did also spend some time with some craftsy classes, because I also have a ridiculous amount of those. And what I practiced was backwards knitting. And what that means is, instead of turning your work at the end of the row, you just go back in the opposite direction. So you kind of have to do everything in reverse. And this, I just did a swatch, like coaster type thing. But it came out pretty good. And I was actually really surprised that my tension was that even, doing it backwards. As you can see, it's pretty even. And this isn't blocked and it's cotton, so, but I was really happy with it. So that was a lot of fun. To be honest with you though, if I tried to do it right now, I might have to go watch the class again because I'm not sure that I've done it enough to have the muscle memory yet, but it was a good learning experience and it was fun. It's funny too because backwards knitting is almost like regular knitting in that when you knit regularly, typically most people think purl is a more difficult maneuver than knit. It's the opposite for backwards. The purl is easier than the knit when you do it backwards, so that was funny. What else do I have? I have some socks that are almost done. They might even be done tonight after I finish recording. It is one of the Scarefest sock patterns. It's called Caution Bird Area, and so that was for the movie The Birds. And it's got this really cool lace pattern. I don't know how well this is going to show up because they're not blocked, but and it kind of rotates around. There's decreases and increases, so it biases. That's the word I'm looking for. So that's one sock, and it goes down to the heel, and then there's a feather on the instep. So this one just needs to be Kitchenered. This sock is done. And the other sock just needs the toe, and I did them so that they mirror each other. So like, for example, that sock is the right sock. The lace will go down this side of my foot, and the left one is the opposite, and it will be on the outside also. So I'm very happy with those, and I'm really happy with this yarn. I dyed this yarn. And I actually had dyed it up for that Take It All shawl that I dyed the yarn for and finished recently. And this was the dud because it didn't come out the way I wanted for the contrasting color. So I ended up digging out something else that I had dyed previously out of my stash. But this works awesome for these socks. Came out really good. So I do like it. It just wasn't going to work for that other project. So I was happy with that. And that's all I've been knitting on. So we'll just skip forward to spinning. String Theory. I have finished yarn. Yay! I'm so excited. Well, I just told you that, didn't I? Because I thought that's how I hurt my back. It's actually in a plastic bag. because I just wound it off today and washed it, and it's wet. So I took it off. It was hanging in the bathroom. I just took it out so I could show you. So I'm not sure how wonderfully this is going to look because it's wet, but it came out really good, and I'm super happy with it. I think it's like worsted weight. This fiber was awesome. It was from Wool Gathering, and it was 70% BFL and 30% C-cell, which was an interesting blend to dye. Oh my god. It's been a long day already to spin. And it actually is, I don't know, it's striping. The color repeats are pretty long, so it might kind of look striping depending on what kind of project I work on it, but I'm super happy with it. And I'll have to go hang it back up when I'm done here. So that was a fun spin. And I'm still spinning the BFL from Into the World on the spindles. Here's one spindle. So that one's going well. I like that a lot. And I'm using my little monsters there to hold the fiber. So that one will go for a while. And I'm still not sure what I want to do with it once it's done. If I want to chain ply it or 3-ply. I'll have 3 balls when I'm done, but I don't know. And my fluffy bump that was on the supported spindles before, I'm plying it now. So that's super exciting. And I'm also able to utilize my DIY Lazy Kate, so that's awesome too. So there's the bobbins that I wound. I just grabbed a drop spindle to ply it on, so that's fun. There's a lot of yardage here, so I don't know how long that's going to take to ply. It took me 2 hours at least to wind off the supported spindles onto the bobbins, so yeah, there's a lot of yardage there, but I'm excited to be plying that. It's also fun to switch it up, you know, and like ply something instead of spinning something, or, you know, today I feel like spinning. No, right now I feel like plying. Have more than one project. It's fun. I also made, maybe I'll insert a picture, but it's over there and I don't want to move it. Since my spindle rack over here is overflowing, and I have some spindles to show you that aren't on it, which is why there are holes right now, I needed something else, so I saw somebody on a Ravelry group had used a pasta drying rack as a spindle rack, and it looked pretty cool, and they're really inexpensive, so I got one. I stained it because it's just raw wood, and I also glued the dowels in to make sure that they were secure so that they wouldn't fall out. So it's pretty much just got like arms with dowels sticking out of it, and then the spindles can sit in the in between the dowels. So that's pretty cool. And it's also an excellent keeper for whips. Like that was actually over there with that spindle on the rack with the Lazy Kate next to it on the other desk back there until I pulled it over here to show you. But that was pretty cool. I had fun with that. I'll probably just put a picture in the Ravelry group when I post this episode. That's all I've been working on. So I have, actually right now all of the wheels are empty. I still have the Merino and the Road Bog that I was spinning forever, but there's actually an empty bobbin on there right now because I had done something else in between. I should get back to that one, but I was spinning it super thin, so it's going to take forever. Testaments. I have a bit of stuff. So, one thing was that Becky at Morning Bright Yarns, I'm not even going to take this out of the bag because it's taped, does a giveaway once a month for any members of her group, and I won. October, I think. It might have been September, but anyway, she sent me a message that I won a skein of yarn. So while I was looking for my prize skein, I could not decide between 2, so I placed an order, and yeah, because I just couldn't decide. So I got a skein of her worsted in Starry, and then my prize skein was a skein of fingering in Magic. And this was the yarn that I did my Mirabelle shawl up in, was Becky's yarn. So that was really cool. So those are my skeins. And the Magic, I'm not sure if it's showing through the bag, but it's like a speckle yarn. It's got lots of different colors in it, so that was really cool. So I was super excited to win that. Perfect timing since it was close to my birthday. I placed an order with Blaine Fleece and Fiber, and what I got was, these did not come in this bag, I put them in this bag. I got some sheepy shells, and she did spooky shells for like Halloween. They're awesome. So these are roll eggs that she does on a blending board. And they're super awesome to spin. It's Merino Firestar, Faux Cashmere, Icelandic from Panda Bear. And she was doing bats. Her bats are awesome, by the way. They're super smooth. They got awesome blends. They're just wonderful, wonderful bats to work with. And I actually meant to grab it. I had spun up half a bat recently, just trying out different spinning techniques. Because I recently went through JC Boggs' class from Woolen to Worsted, like sat down and went through the whole class and did the different techniques. So I was trying out different techniques with another bat, which was a lot of fun. But she did vampire bats, and these are awesome. Purpley, sparkly, awesome bat. Perfect for Halloween. And this is Polworth Silk, BFL, Bamboo, Merino Firestar, and Icelandic from Mikey. So that's awesome. Super excited about that. And then I also wanted some roving to play around with different spinning techniques that I've been learning soon. So I grabbed 1 ounce of each of her sheep, and I love that they're all like completely different. Mikey's very light, Panda Bear's kind of in the middle, and Black Velvet, who's my favorite by the way, is this lovely, lovely gray. So I got 1 ounce each of those just to play with. I'm even wondering if I should spin all these up and then 3-ply them together. I think that would be pretty cool. So that's that from that order. I also recently, my local yarn store is called the Fiber Loft, and they send out every year in the month of your birthday a coupon. So I went there today to use my coupon and got myself some goodies. So I got, these are not bats. They're almost like bats, but then like just bird nests. And I have spun up a bat from this particular person before, and it was awesome to spin up. Really good for supported spinning because they're so light and airy. And she had some of these. So I got, there's like a darker purple and a purple and green. And then there was this set that was also purple and green. So I thought they would actually go really well together. If I spin them all up and ply them together, I thought they'd go really good. And then the other thing I got there was some, what is this? I forget already. Well, I'm not really sure. She has Corriedale and Corriedale crosses and Romney sheep. I'm not sure if that's all the same thing or if they're all different sheep, but some roving that is super soft. It's super soft, and it's this lovely natural brown color. But the coolest thing is, and this is like 8 ounces, and it was pretty inexpensive, and it's processed, you know, and there's like no veggie matter in it at all. This particular farm, I have met this herd of sheep. Maybe not this sheep in particular, but I've met this herd of sheep. And she is also the lady that taught me how to spin on a wheel. Because she's an instructor there, so they sell some of her fiber. So that was pretty cool. Let's see, intentions. Oh, I have birthday stuff too for my husband. Hang on. Hold, please. I sent him a list, which is fine. Because then, you know, we both send each other lists for birthdays and Christmas and stuff. Then you get what you want. And it's happy. I got a new knitting bag, and it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Yay! This is from Otterly Adorable Knits, and super cool. There's a little otter here, but on the back is Kitchener stitch, which is cool because this is a nice, handy little one. I have a big card, a big laminated card. I'm excited to have this because I can just leave this cute little otter on my desk. And it's got a contrasting fabric inside with more characters. It's a really nice bag. Excited about that. I got a sock blank from Gail's Art for Socktober, and it's sparkly, so that'll be fun. I got a spindle tote from Slip Stitch Studios in Star Trek, so I'm excited about that. This is a really cool spindle tote. The bottom's reinforced, pretty hard. It snaps so you can open the whole thing. Inside it has elastic, I don't even know what to call them. Like, kind of like a knitting needle case kind of thing. Elastic thingies. So you can actually stick the spindle shaft through here so it won't bounce around in the bag. Really cool. And the handle also you can take off so you can make a wrist loop or hang it on your wheel or whatever. So it's got all kinds of features in it. That was really cool. And I got some stitch markers from Spindle Cat Studio, and they're copper and genuine amethyst. So that was really cool. It was really pretty. And he got me the new Korn CD, which I listened to today while I drove around. Really loudly. So that was fun. Alright, intentions, I don't have anything. I still have to finish my Pinguino mix. I don't have any new designs. Heresy! Hogwarts at Ravelry starts tomorrow, or midnight tonight, actually. And I have a study hall that's all about socks. And I also now have a points thread. I have a storyline. So they were looking for volunteers, and I can volunteer, and I've done points threads before, so I was happy to do that. I'm excited it starts. Blaine Fleece and Fiber. Speaking of, I've shown it on here plenty of times, has a new Refer a Friend program. So if you refer a new to BFF friend, so somebody who has not previously ordered from BFF, and they make a purchase from the Etsy shop, you will both receive 20% off of your next purchase. So they need to know that they need to include your name in the notes section of the order. So if you place an order with Blaine Fleece and Fiber and you're new to them and you heard about them here because I've shown their stuff, please put in for me to get the referral. I would really appreciate it. Epic Knit Along 2016 is still going on my board, so don't forget about that. I don't have any new podcasts. I do have some Ravelry patterns for you. I just realized in spinning I forgot to show you new spindles. I will do that. So the first one is White Whiskers, and it's a hat pattern. It's so cute. And it's got cats on it with white whiskers. This is just so cute. So you can do all different color combinations, all kinds of fun stuff. It's by Christine D. Savoy, and it's about $4.91. The original is not in US. And it uses sport weight yarn. The next one is Cozy Cuffed Mitts. It's free. It uses worsted yarn. So they're nice fingerless mitts with the cuff that flips down, which I think this would be awesome if you were out and about, because if your hands were cold and you were just like standing around, like, you know, in line for 3 hours for Cannoli Fest, you could just flip the cuffs up to warm your hands, but then your fingers would still be free when you needed them. The other thing that I think is really good with this pattern is this looks like it would be an excellent pattern to use with hand spun yarn. And that's actually what I might do with it. And the last one I have to show you are the Smog mittens. They're mittens, actually. They're colorwork mittens by Jenny Penny. It's about $4.55 US again. The original's not in US. And they're amazing. Look at that. That is so cool. Let me find you another pic. This one shows, you know, apparently there's only so much I can do on the Kindle tablet before it just decides to ignore me. There we go. This shows the back, the inside, the palm of them. Those are awesome. I really like those. So those are your Ravelry patterns. Okay, what I forgot to show you, I said I got some new spindles. Now 3 of them I ordered back in July when I got stipends from work, and they're Mirkwood spindles, and his lead time is very long because he has lots of orders and they're made to order. So I got a Jersey Racer from TDF 2016. It's in Purple Heart, which is one of my favorites, and I got a luminous green crown. I also spun a sheepy shell on it. So that's that one. That's my Racer. I don't know how well the camera's going to show the crowns today because it's already dark out. And it's only 5:45. I got a Balrog that I've been dying for since I saw him. This one's actually in Bloodwood because he had some issues with the paddock. It's supposed to be in paddock, but it's still fine and I love it. And for this one I got an orange crystal because it's the Balrog. It's supposed to be on fire. And I got a mini L-wing. I have an L-wing over there, but he's now doing some lighter weight, shorter spindles. It's actually not much shorter than some of my other ones, but it's much lighter. Those are usually well over an ounce, and this is like about an ounce, I think. It's in Applewood. And I got a violet crown. So I'm so excited to have those. And then bought a D-stash this month because it's my birthday and I can. So I got, this is actually a club one, so you cannot buy this one. It's an Opus 4, and it has a yellow, I want to say this is like citrine crayon. And I'm not sure what the wood is because it didn't come with the tag. I'm actually going to probably post it on the Markwood group and see if I can find out what the wood is. You know what though, it looks like, no it doesn't, never mind. Thought it looked like one of my other ones. So I'm super happy with that one. And this is my favorite length, so happy about that. So those are my new spindles. And I think that might be it for this episode because I didn't want to go too long, over half an hour. I always look around towards the end because I know I'm forgetting to tell you something. But I think that's probably it for this episode. And I'm gonna go get finishing my socks so I can finish those up. I only have one toe of the other sock to do. Where's my other sock? Just needs the toe and it'll be done. And those are super fun. So, thank you for joining me, and happy knitting and spinning.